Welcome back. In this episode, we're going to explore a series of posts uploaded by the user Cats for Peace. This story has been verified by the LetsNotMeet mods, meaning that the OP has provided the mods with some form of proof to validate their story. These posts are titled The Creepy Chronicles, in which the OP details their experiences with a person who has been obsessed and stalking them since the age of 3. This is their story. A little backstory before I get to the goods. When I turned 21, an older man approached me in a bar in a very small town that I was living in on the West Coast. The town, although very small, was very bubbly and had a great community of people. I chatted with the man who seemed very enthusiastic about meeting me and said things like, "I finally found you," which was really no different than a lot of things men would often say when trying to flirt at a bar. I would later come to find out what he meant was, he had finally found me thanks to the check-in feature on Facebook, after trying to track my movements somewhat successfully since I turned 18. I would also come to find out in subsequent messages that this man had been obsessed with me after first meeting me at the age of 3. Since starting college, I had moved 7 times for various reasons to different locations and towns surrounding my university, making my exact location hard to pinpoint for any length of time until I finally settled in this small town. Although this man had seemed very eager, I did not think much of it. Since I had just turned 21, I began to frequent bars as a new pastime on the weekends. I soon realized that I would run into this man every single weekend, but then again, I saw all the other regulars every weekend as well, and did not find it odd until I received my first letter. I am now 24 years old, and have moved to the other side of the country. However, the messages have not stopped. I would like to share all the letters and messages, starting here with the first letter, dated October 5th of 2012, which he titled, "Hi, Cats for Peace." "Hi Clara, this is Gordon. We met at Bellflower's Tavern. I'm very shy like a deer in headlights when I see you. I hope this is not too forward, but the written word is the best way for me to communicate, and I usually go up to see music, and not sure when I'll see you next. I looked up Clara Puget Island, and knew to look for the diner for a description, so here I go. Dear Clara Bo Olsen, I'm so taken by you that I can't eat or sleep. I'm just crazy in the head for you. I know I may be older, but what is age but a number? I lost my 30s taking care of my grandmother 24/7, 365 days, for the last 10 years, and the last time I met someone that made me feel like you was 14 years ago. It lasted 2 years, and I know what it feels like to be cheated on. I think you are the most sweetest, beautiful girl I've ever met in forever. I would absolutely love to know you better, and for some unexplained reason, I remember everything about you. Your eyes, hair, what you wore, what you said since I met you for the first time, and when you asked me 20 questions, and the way you looked at me, I got this burning feeling inside. And then, when you said you wanted to go play your violin for another 3 hours, and the fact you love jazz so much, well, those are turn-on words. Music is life, love and everything. I like to speak through music, so if I were to put on a song for you, it would be Why Can't I Be You by The Cure. Then, Going Out of My Head and Night and Day, Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66. Or, Do You Think I'm Sexy, Rod Stewart? Feels Like Home, Nora Jones. There's too much to say in a short letter. I could go on forever. The first night we met was 22nd of September. You gave me a hug and said that it felt good to hug. The world stopped. You said on Saturday the 29th that it looked real good, and I nearly melted and was speechless. So much to say, so if I'm on the wrong track, please let me know, and I will back off and we can be friends. Also, you can ask the university or CEO/OP board of directors for Richard Morris. He has known me since I was born and was my mom's first husband and a professor in anthropology at UW, so you can check me out. Love and music. Sincerely, Gordon Clark. P.S. Clara, I do not know you well enough to know, and I don't judge, but you are very classy and have poise, and if you are the reserved kind of girl, well, that is not a problem. Make me a reservation. I'm very loyal, sweet, gentle, loving, and kind, and unlike your last boyfriend, the blithering idiot, I don't stray or cheat. Some quick updates. I received the messages he sent to my mom regarding me, and it's a goldmine. He reveals that he has been attempting to contact the FBI because he believes I'm in danger. My mom sent the messages in screenshots, so it will take me a while to type them all out. Here, I'll be posting the next set of messages that I received from him. To provide some clarification beforehand, this set of messages will include some information where he says he met me when I was 15. In later messages, he clarifies that this was when we met again, sort of like our newfound opportunity of being together, after he first became obsessed with me when I was 3. From what I can gather, he must have been tracking my mother's movements when I was a child, in order to have encounters with me, until he lost track of me for a while when I moved out of my parents' house and changed my name on Facebook. I believe that when he refers to meeting me again, he's talking about the next time he was able to locate me after I changed living situations. Neither my mother nor I know how this happened. She's horrified. Enjoy. P.S. The third message in this installment states that he is so heartbroken that he'll have to let me go. Don't fret. It only took him exactly 24 hours and 2 minutes before he couldn't resist contacting me again. Hi, Clara. I have no idea if you read my letter to you or not, but if you did and tried texting me with a response, I don't have a cell. It's a home phone. Also, if you did read it and it made you uncomfortable, I apologize. Gordon. Cats for Peace, 8664 Broadview, Nebraska, is where we first met in 2006. Remember Torn Reality? And then again 6 years later at Bellflower's Tavern. Please read. Dear Clara, I had to kind of unfriend you because of feelings that had developed after talking with you about all sorts of stuff and getting to you and your interest at Bellflower's Tavern. When I first met you at 15 and spoken at your Uncle Tom's house with my grandmother Laura's aunt, I was totally taken by you and hoped you were right about us meeting again someday. And wouldn't you know it, 6 years later, we did at Bellflower's Tavern, where yes, once again, I fell very hard for you. And then put together after you changed your name on Facebook to Clara Bow. That triggered my memory and realized you are the same girl and thought that if you came back to work at the diner, that I might have a chance to go with you. You said 2 years is not that long. So like an idiot, I've held on to the chance to be with you for 2 years. Yeah, crazy. But when we talked, the rest of the world went quiet. And when you said all those nice things to me and said I felt good to hug, you made me feel like the only person in the room. I sent many messages before, and well, never got an answer. So after hoping for so long and realizing you might not come back, and it looks like you have a boyfriend now, I just feel as though I have to let this crazy idea in my heart go. So don't be mad, but this is just the way I need to handle my emotions and let you go. This was an extremely hard decision to make for me, but I have no idea now if you were ever interested in me or not. So I'm feeling 100% heartbroken about this. I hope you can understand. Who knows what the future holds? You're the one who can see things in the future. Sincerely, Gordon Clark. In this next set of messages, we find out the truth about how my stalker first became infatuated with me at the age of 3. I pick up where I left off in part 2, where this man couldn't resist contacting me again, sending me his next message exactly 24 hours and 2 minutes after telling me he was letting me go. Did I mention he believes I'm clairvoyant? Clara, here's a picture of my grandmother. Do you know who the other lady is? I'm really trying here. He attached a picture of his grandmother. I know you know. You promised. So why no reply? I like a fool. I'll still wait for you. Hope you are there. Clara, your premonition came half true. We did meet again, and I did fall for you completely again unaware. The second time before you left, you said it's true to believe you, and that you would come back to your workplace. I think you said between May to August of 15. You said wait for you. I have completely been loyal to this notion, even though you have not replied. I have not dated or hooked up with anyone. I feel heartbroken now and at a loss. Do I just try to forget about us being together and move on? Let me know. Or do I just wait to be crushed? You need to say something, even if you don't want to be with me. It's not fair to leave me hanging on like this for so long. Gordon. 1994 Seattle. I was hanging out with your older brother at the mall. He was babysitting you. He and I met because the bus driver left me for 8 hours stranded to wait for the next bus. Your brother was skateboarding down by the depot and said he could help find a cool place to hang out, and the buses were free. But first, he had to pick up his little sister Clara at his mom and stepdad's house, and then he could go to the mall and hang out. He said his sister might have mental problems because she is convinced she can see people's futures, but you were only 3, and he said to go along with whatever fantasy you had. That day, your fantasy was that when you got older, we would meet again and get married, and that I was going to be your husband, and you were telling everybody at that mall, and your brother had to tell people we were going along with your fantasy. Remember that? I have a perfect memory. Ask your brother. This is a true story. Then again, you were convinced at your Uncle Tom's, then at Bellflower's Tavern. We are connected somehow by some crazy force, Clara, and I'm not really crazy. You know this to be true. You have to know. Well, I guess I'll wait. Sincerely, Gordon. Here's the 10th letter I received from my stalker, but not the last. I'm posting this one by itself because the content is truly disturbing. It's dated January 20th of 2015. The previous letters span from late 2012 up until late 2014. All personal information has been altered. Clara, remember when you were 3 standing on my feet dancing with me, looking up at me holding my hands, and saying it was the happiest day of your little life so far? I do. Do you remember sitting on the bench holding my left arm and laying on my shoulder, telling people we were getting married, and your brother telling people your problem so I didn't get in trouble? I do. I'll keep telling more of the story that day later. Also, you said I would be a rock guitar player. I've played 12 to 18 hours a day since I met you the third time. I'm becoming one of the best ever, just like all the guitar gods I worship. I'm so damn crazy in love with you that I have been faithfully waiting for you since you were 15, and you were the first girl I meet again, the first time I had been out since my nana passed, and so I didn't have to find you yet. See you when you are ready. Love, Gordon. Unfortunately, this is where our story ends. After checking Cats for Pieces Reddit page, I was unable to find any new updates or posts about their stalker. In fact, Cats for Pieces' last activity was an unrelated comment on the r/offmychest sub over 6 years ago. Given the fact that each one of the LP's posts is verified, we can assume that this story is true, and unfortunately, if it is true, it's very likely that this person is still stalking the LP and trying to contact them. I made this video shorter than usual, and if you would like to see more content like this in between regular uploads, let me know down in the comments. And as always, a special thanks to the Cold crew who helped support the channel. Thanks for watching.